Dr. Vanita Rattan, and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of colour. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. Now, the reason I created this channel was because often the marketing doesn't add up to what's actually in the product. And there's a lot of mystery when it comes to skincare because we don't receive education on all the actives and ingredients that get put into skincare. So really, this channel is here to empower you with all the knowledge when it comes to skincare, so you know where your hard-earned money is going, making sure you're not wasting that money. And also you're not damaging your skin. So really this channel is all about teaching you what's safe for skin of colour. Now today's video has been highly requested, and it is how to treat dry skin that gets acne. And unfortunately there really isn't much information available, and because we always talk about oily skin and how to treat acne because that is the common skincare issue. However, when you have dry skin and acne, it's very difficult because a lot of the ingredients actually dry the skin out further, which you cannot afford to do if you've already compromised your skin barrier. So I feel like this video really had to be made, and I feel like this video is actually going to help not just actually skin of color, but is actually going to help Caucasian skin too. Right, so if that sounds good to you, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is decipher, do you have dry skin or do you have dehydrated skin? These are two completely different phenomenons, and actually you need to treat them differently. So with dehydrated skin, it's a temporary concern. It happens, the skin feels rough, it feels bumpy, and it can also be oily and get spots as well. So all three things can happen together with dehydrated skin. So the most common problem and the most common cause of this is damage to the skin barrier. This can happen by using inappropriate products or using inappropriate practices. So for example, over scrubbing the skin is not a good idea. This is why we're all against St. Ives. We've got nothing against the brand. It's just you don't want to over scrub because then you're losing moisture in the skin and it can lead to dehydrated skin. Also, products that contain fragrance that lead to contact dermatitis can also damage the skin barrier. Skin sensitizers, which I talk about all the time, that really have no place in skincare, are actually in about 95% of the skincare on the shelves of Walmart or of Boots, or just even online. And that's really why I made this channel, is because we can't afford to put things on our skin that are going to damage our skin barrier, because the repercussions for us take months and years to recover from. So those are some of the things that you want to avoid. In addition, there are other factors. So for example, the weather, pollution, hormones, these things also prevent your skin from retaining moisture, which leads to dehydrated skin. So if it sounds like you've got dehydrated skin, then what you need to do is ensure everything that you're putting on the skin, make sure it doesn't have any drying alcohols in it. I've done actually a whole video for you on good and bad alcohols. Drying alcohols are things like denatured alcohol, ethanol, you want to avoid from your skincare. You want to avoid any essential oils. Now there's a whole host of essential oils, and that's why I tend to go through brands and tell you what to buy and what to avoid, because the list of essential oils is going to be longer than just one video. So I try and make that a little bit easier for you. You want to avoid any skin sensitizers. So the common ones are things like lemon and mint. If you see lemon or mint, those are things that should not be put on your face because they sensitize the skin, especially in UV, and lead to dehydrated skin, but also many other skin conditions such as contact dermatitis. The big one is, of course, fragrance. Fragrance is the #1 cause of contact dermatitis, and I know you've heard me say this 100 times. And I'm sure you're probably actually saying this to everyone else that you know. But yes, avoid it. We don't want skin, fragrance on our face. Your face does not want fragrance. Your clothes, put fragrance on your clothes, put fragrance everywhere else, but just avoid your face and hair. because it's just not good for us. What we need to do is replenish the skin. We need to rehydrate the skin and restore, repair the skin. So I'm going to do a step-by-step routine for you for dehydrated skin at the end. First, I want to move on to dry skin. Okay, so if your issue is dry skin plus acne, then you also want to avoid all the irritants, of course, and you want to treat the acne too. So this is my step-by-step routine. Starting off with your cleanser, I like Micellar Gel Wash or CeraVe SA because it's got salicylic acid in it too. And they should be quite hydrating to the skin. They shouldn't dehydrate the skin. Then go on to toner. So you want to hydrate first before you put on any other actives or exfoliants, because really the key here is we need to get these water magnets, the humectants, into the skin to absorb water, draw water into the skin to then reduce any chances of inflammation that can happen as we layer the skin. So tone first. So I like COSRX or Paula's Choice. Their advanced replenishing toner is very hydrating and non-irritating, has nothing in it that's going to irritate the skin. So the only exfoliant that I would ask you to wear is your BHA, your salicylic acid. It can be quite drying, so just bear that in mind. I often talk about the ordinary one, which I do like, but it doesn't have many humectants in it. And so it might be too drying for your skin. Instead, I would opt for the 2% BHA Paula's Choice because they do actually add a lot of humectants in that particular product. And again, there's nothing else that's going to irritate it. So hopefully at this point, you don't have to wear any other actives because I really don't want to traumatize your skin barrier. But if you need to, then I would use benzoyl peroxide 2.5% max. I would not use more than that because don't forget, benzoyl peroxide is very drying to the skin. And that's the exact opposite of what we're going to do. Hopefully you don't need to use it. Hopefully the salicylic acid will be enough to keep your acne under control. If not, then step up with the benzoyl peroxide. And then you need to hydrate. You need to hydrate with a non-comedogenic moisturizer. So the one I always talk about is the original CeraVe, the one in the tub. I've done a whole video on my top non-comedogenic moisturizers. Unfortunately, most of the moisturizers on the market that say they're non-comedogenic actually contain comedogenic ingredients. And a lot of you have actually asked me to make this video, which I really don't want to make because it's so negative, you know, literally listing out all the products that are mismarketed, and you know, I don't really want to put that negative energy out there, but I might have to. But hopefully you can just watch my video on the good ones that are non-comedogenic and have nothing in them that are going to lead to more spots, and that should hopefully be enough. But if you keep requesting me to make the other video, then I will make the video for you, but let's see. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is your sunscreen. So I would always say use physical, because don't forget zinc oxide is also an anti-inflammatory. With chemical sunscreens, I'm generally not a fan anyway, but because of the conversion of UV to thermal energy, which can further trigger melanocytes, don't forget with us, when we have acne, we don't just get the acne, we get the dark mark as well. And so we have to be aware of this. And this is why I always push for physical sunscreen over chemical sunscreen in skin of color. Okay, so now with the dehydrated skin, here we have to restore the skin. So we're basically using the same protocol as dry skin, but we are adding hyaluronic acid, ceramides, protein, so your peptides, antioxidants, especially if you're using benzoyl peroxide, because you know, use your benzoyl peroxide, let it dry, wait a few minutes, then use your antioxidant to mop up any free radicals that have been produced by the benzoyl peroxide. So what I would do is add, after your BHA, after you've used your salicylic acid, these are the products that I'd recommend. Either the super antioxidant serum from Paula's Choice, or the ordinary vitamin C 23% suspension plus hyaluronic acid, or Naturium vitamin C super serum plus or minus. So you can also top up with Protini. from Drunk Elephant, because that's also non-comedogenic but also has peptides in it. So it's a really good moisturizer. If you're using Drunk Elephant Protein-E, then you're done at that point. If you don't use that, then you need to moisturize on top. So using one of the non-comedogenic moisturizers from my video on non-comedogenic moisturizers for oily acne-prone skin. Oh, wow. So we went through quite a lot today, and I really hope today was useful, because I know how traumatic it is when you're trying products and whatever you're doing is actually making the situation worse. And you've spent all this money that's taken you many hours to earn, and then you end up, you know, worse off than you started. It's honestly, it's the most frustrating thing, and I really don't want that for you. So I really hope today just transforms your skin, especially if you have dehydrated skin, because dehydrated skin is very easy to turn around. It's damaged skin barrier. Dry skin is a whole other phenomenon. So at least if you have dehydrated skin, let's get that under control. And that's just because of majority of the products on the shelf were not created for skin of color. Hopefully we can turn the tide on all of this. And 12 months from now, we'll go shopping and, you know, everything on the shelf will be amazing for us. Like, that would just be the dream. All right, so as you know, I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video. Please, can you be here and ask me your questions so I can do as much as I can in that time. Please do download your free guide for skin care, for skin of color. Again, it's down below. Any videos you want me to make, please write them down below. And don't forget to follow me on YouTube. No, I mean, obviously on YouTube, but also Instagram, which is, what is it? Skincare, at Skincare by Dr. V. At the Hyperpigmentation Clinic, and on TikTok it's at Dr. Vanita Rattan. Do you know what? I really should have had the same handle for all of my social media, because it would have made my life easier. But no, I had no foresight, and I just, you know, I was late to the party at every single party. I mean, I've literally just joined TikTok, and TikTok's just been banned in India and is basically on its way out in the US. And guess what? Dr. V has just arrived, like every time. Right, so I hope you found today helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.